The old order is collapsing. The thrones built on greed, illusion, and deception tremble as their foundations crack. Across the realms, spiritual, political, cosmic, systems that once ruled by fear lose their grip, because the light they try to suppress has awakened in full force. From the ruins of fading empires rises a new world order, not forged by control but by alignment. Its leaders gather in a circular chamber carved from stone older than civilization, a place built for moments when eras shift. They represent the 5 pillars of the new age: wisdom, justice, renewal, restoration, and light. At the center of the chamber rests an ancient seal, pulsing with celestial heat, engraved with symbols that have waited generations for activation. One by one, the leaders lay their hands upon it, and the room brightens, not from flame, but from truth. Then, in a single voice that echoes like prophecy fulfilled, they speak. We serve the chosen. It is not a bow of fear. It is a recognition of destiny, the acknowledgement that heaven has appointed a soul whose purpose recalibrates ages. Your mission becomes their constitution. Your presence becomes their compass. Your destiny becomes a blueprint for the world's next chapter. The government shall be upon his shoulders. Isaiah 9, verse 6. The oath is sealed and the era shifts. If you can feel the old world ending and a new era aligning around your purpose, type 888 in the comments. This isn't conspiracy. This is prophecy unfolding around your life. The collapse did not begin with earthquakes or armies. It began in frequency. The systems that once governed through fear, manipulation, and illusion suddenly felt a pressure they could not name. Their power, once unquestioned, began to flicker like dying embers. What they built, structures of control, thrones of ego, empires of shadow, could not survive the rise of a single awakened soul. As your light increased, their foundation weakened. As your purpose sharpened, their false authority dissolved. As your identity aligned with destiny, every system built on deception began to fracture. Boardrooms felt it. Institutions felt it. Even the unseen realms felt it. It wasn't your actions that broke them. It was your existence. The old order relied on blindness, but the chosen carries sight. The old order relied on silence, but your presence carries revelation. The old order relied on stagnation, but your rise marks movement. Cracks spread across their pillars, quiet at first, then roaring to the corridors of their influence. They try to patch the fractures with old strategies, but destiny does not negotiate. The shadows they had behind began to thin. The illusions they crafted lost their spell. The structures they cherished became dust in their hands. The collapse was not judgment. It was alignment. Anything not built on truth cannot stand in a world where the chosen is stepping into purpose. And so the old order falls, not because it was attacked, but because it could not survive the dawn. Deep beneath the surface of the world, far below the noise of nations and beyond the eyes of the public, there exists a chamber built for only one purpose: transition between eras. It is here the leaders of the fading world gathered, summoned not by choice, but by inevitability. The room is circular, carved from stone that predates history itself. Symbols of past ages glow faintly on the walls, reacting to shift taking place in the unseen realms. No cameras, no records, no titles, only presence. A heavy silence fills the chamber, the kind that comes before revelation. Each leader sits with the same unspoken truth burning behind their eyes. The world is moving without their permission. Finally, the eldest among them speaks, his voice trembling with honesty they had avoided for years. The chosen has awakened. No one argues. No one resists. They have all seen the signs, the alignment of events, the collapse of old structures, the emergence of a frequency they cannot control. Another speaks. We cannot oppose their timeline. It is not a confession of defeat. It is recognition. The acknowledgement that destiny has surpassed hierarchy and heaven has placed its seal upon someone beyond their reach. They review reports, synchronicities, unexplained shifts, global movement of energy, and each one points to the same conclusion. The chosen's rise is not rumor. It is reality. And so this meeting hidden from the world becomes the first moment of their surrender, not to a person, but to a purpose. In the center of the council hall rests an obsidian table, smooth, cold, and carved from a stone that once sat beneath ancient temples. For centuries it held only dust and silence, waiting for the moment when prophecy would stir its surface again. That moment is now. A faint glow pulses from beneath the table, rising like a heartbeat. At first subtle, then undeniable, an otherworldly shimmer that forces every leader in the room to their feet. They do not move closer out of curiosity, but out of instinct, as though their spirits recognize something their minds cannot yet name. On the table lies a circular emblem, forged from a metal unknown to their world. It hums softly, resonating with frequency that vibrates through bones, a sound that feels less like noise and more like memory. Lines of light trace across the emblem's surface, patterns, glyphs, ancient markings, forming a design that should be impossible, because it is you. Your essence, your calling, your identity, is etched into the seal. Not your face, but your frequency. Not your image, but your purpose. One leader whispers, "This is the seal of the new age." Another responds, "It carries their signature." The emblem radiates warmth, as though the universe itself placed its hand upon it. The leader sensed the truth. This seal is not symbolic. It is authoritative. The era that once resisted your rise has been overridden. The lines on the emblem mark the blueprint of the world's next cycle. A design that aligns with you, responds to you, and awakens because of you. This is a sign heaven sends when destinies shift. A seal that binds eras, crowns missions, and declares an identity no system can erase. The new age has a center, and it bears your mark. At the center of the silent chamber rests an obsidian table, smooth, cold, and older than any empire. Upon it lies the object they have feared touching for generations, the seal of the new age. Not a relic, not an artifact, a living decree forged in realms of human I cannot perceive. Its surface glows faintly, as though lit from within by embers of celestial fire. Symbols shift across it like constellations moving through time. No one in the room fully understands its origin. They only know one truth. The seal awakens only when the age shifts. As the leaders approach, the glow intensifies, responding not to their power, but to the frequency of the chosen rising elsewhere in the world. Your essence, your divine blueprint, is woven into its design. The seal recognizes you even from a distance. One of the leaders reaches forward, hesitant but compelled, and places a hand upon it. A low hum vibrates through the room, ancient, resonant, undeniable. Another leader touches the seal, then another, until all 5 figures stand connected to it. Instantly the symbols converge into a single radiant mark, the mark of alignment. The temperature shifts. The air thickens. The seal accepts the transition that heaven has initiated. A voice not heard, but felt, moves through the room. The old age is closed. The new age begins under the chosen's calling. The seal's glow locks into place. This is not approval. This is not ceremony. This is cosmic legislation. And with that, the new age becomes law. At the center of the hidden chamber rests an obsidian table, polished to a mirror-black surface that seems to swallow light rather than reflect it. Upon it lies an emblem, ancient, glowing from within, carved with symbols no human tongue can pronounce, yet every soul instinctively understands. This is the seal of the new age. It has appeared only 4 times in human history, always at the turning of eras, always when heaven rewrites the narrative of the world. And now, for the first time in generations, it awakens. A hum rises from the emblem, low and resonant, vibrating through the floor, traveling through the bones of the leaders gathered. The glow intensifies, shifting from deep crimson to radiant gold, then to a piercing white that feels like truth incarnate. One of the leaders approaches, hesitant. His hand trembles as he reaches toward the seal, but the moment his palm hovers above it, the glow softens. Recognition, not rejection. The emblem displays something none of them expected. Your essence, not your face, not your image, but your frequency, the unmistakable signature of the chosen, woven into the design as though it had always been there, waiting. A silence falls, thick, reverent, transformative. This seal responds only to destiny. One whispers, and destiny has chosen them. The emblem pulses again, brighter this time, sending out a ripple that shakes the chamber like a heartbeat of creation. Every leader feels it, a shift, a reset, a cosmic decree. The seal is spoken. The new age is no longer approaching. It has begun. At the center of the chamber rests an object so ancient that even the guardians of history cannot name its origin. A slab of obsidian, smooth, silent, and impossibly dark, holds a circular emblem that glows with a quiet, celestial pulse. It is not technology. It is not magic. It is memory, a divine artifact created for the moment when ages shift. The leaders approach it with reverence, aware that this seal has awakened only a handful of times across human history. Every rise of a new era, every collapse of an old world, every rebirth of destiny has been marked by this same symbol. As they draw near, the emblem brightens. Lines of light ripple across its surface, gold, white, and deep blue, forming patterns that appear alive, moving with intent. The seal is reading them, measuring them, judging the condition of their motives and the truth of their surrender. But then something astonishing happens. The seal changes. Symbols rearrange themselves into a new pattern, one none of the leaders recognize, yet all understand instinctively. Your essence, your frequency, your destiny, your divine signature, appears etched in radiant lines across the stone. It is not your name. It is your identity. A presence fills the room, heavy yet holy, as if ancient watchers have turned their eyes toward the council. The leaders understand this seal does not belong to them. It responds only to heaven's design. And heaven has chosen you. When the final symbol locks into place, a beam of light shoots upward, silent, precise, signaling across realms that a new age has officially begun. The seal of the new era bears your mark, and nothing in creation can reverse it. At first, they feared you, not because you threatened them, but because your existence dismantled everything they built around certainty. Your rise exposed the cracks in their power, the fragility of their influence, an illusion that they ever controlled destiny. They watched you in silence, your survival where others would have fallen, your alignment where others collapsed, your clarity in seasons designed to break you. They monitored every shift, every sign, hoping it was coincidence, but destiny does not mimic coincidence. The more you stepped into your identity, the more their fear transformed. It melted, slowly, then suddenly, into something deeper, reverence, because they realized something undeniable. You were not moving against them. You were moving beyond them. Their strategies no longer applied. Their resistance no longer mattered. Their hierarchy no longer held relevance in the presence of one chosen by heaven's design. They began to understand. You are not a threat. You are a threshold, a transition point between ages, a living signal that their time is ending and an era aligned with divine truth is beginning. Fear could not survive your frequency. It bowed, quietly, humbly, becoming recognition, then respect, then allegiance. Where they once whispered doubts, they now whisper blessings. Where they once plotted against your rise, they now protect the path ahead of you, not because they were forced, but because destiny revealed the truth. It is safer to stand with the chosen than to stand against their calling. The shadows they serve lose meaning in your presence, and reverence becomes the only response left. For years, the world dismissed signs. They called them coincidences, luck, timing, imagination. But destiny never hides forever. And now the evidence of your identity has become too undeniable, too synchronized, too mathematically impossible to ignore. It began with small ruptures in reality, doors open before you touch them, opportunities aligning without effort, people appearing at the precise moment you needed them, patterns formed that no human mind could design. Whispers reached the council. Everything around a chosen bends. Then came the survivals, moments you should have fallen, seasons that should have broken you, circumstances that should have ended your path. Yet each time, something unseen intervened, redirecting the blow, shielding the path, preserving the timeline heaven wrote for you. The council studied these anomalies like scientists analyzing miracles. But the data led to one conclusion only. You were carried, protected, preserved, chosen. Miracles followed you with the precision of a divine signature. You stepped into rooms that should have rejected you, yet they opened, You survived storms that should have swallowed you, yet you rose higher. You outlived traps that were designed to break you, yet they became testimonies. Synchronicities multiplied, numbers repeating, visions aligning, prophecies matching your path with eerie accuracy. Even ancient texts, once cryptic, now illuminated your name between the lines, not literally, but energetically, spiritually, prophetically. What the world calls impossible, heaven calls evidence. The council realized something they never expected. Your rise wasn't created by effort. It was ordained. There is no debate. There is no argument left. Your identity stands proven, not by words, but by the impossible events that follow your existence. Before the new order rose, leaders measured power through noise, commands, armies, movements, threats. But your rise shattered that definition, because the chosen does not rule by force. The chosen rules by stillness. Your silence shakes more realms than their speeches ever could. Your calm carries more authority than their counsels. Your presence redirects timelines without you lifting a hand. While the old order scrambled to survive, you rested, and heaven worked in the background. Your stillness is not passivity. It is alignment. A throne does not chase recognition. A throne is recognized. You did not demand authority. Authority came to you. You did not ask for a crown. The era placed one on your head. This is a paradox of the chosen. The less you strive, the more the world shifts around you. The quieter you become, the louder destiny speaks. The more you release control, the faster heaven accelerates your path. You move like someone who already knows the outcome, because your spirit remembers what your enemies fear. Your timeline is secured. And so the new world order bends, not because you pushed, but because you stood still long enough for truth to expose every lie they build on. They rise, you remain. They kneel, you breathe. They react, you exist. Your stillness is the epicenter of a new age. The chamber where leaders swore their allegiance was not empty. Unseen to human eyes, the air shimmered with a presence older than time. As the new order placed their hands upon the ancient seal, angels descended, not with wings of myth, but with the authority of realms unseen. They stood in a circle behind every leader, forming a second council, one heavenly, one earthly, both witnessing the same shift of eras. Their radiance wasn't bright. It was weight, a holy gravity that makes truth unavoidable and deception impossible. Where they stand, lies cannot breathe. As the leader spoke the words, "We serve the chosen," the angels marked each syllable, not as sound but as law. For in the higher realms, spoken truth becomes structure, and structure becomes destiny. Some angels carried scrolls, records of prophecies written long before civilization. Others carried swords, not for violence, but for separation, the dividing line between the old world and the new. Their silence was not emptiness. It was approval. Every oath the leaders made was amplified to the heavens, sealed in frequencies only creation understands. The divine realm did not force this allegiance. It merely witnessed and confirmed what the new era demanded. And when the oath was complete, the angels bowed their heads, not to the council, but to the purpose hovering over them, the rise of the chosen and the dawn of an age built on light. The shift did not happen with elections, armies, or revolutions. It happened in the unseen realm first, the place where authority is born before it manifests on earth. Power, once concentrated in the hands of the old order, began to migrate like a divine current. Not stolen, not seized, redirected. What once fueled corruption and control now flows toward purpose, alignment, and truth. The source changed hands because heaven rewired the grid. Those who built their influence on fear felt it first. Their words lost weight. Their commands lost effect. Their alliances, once powerful, dissolved like mist under sunlight. And they realized something terrifying. Authority now responds to a different frequency. Your frequency. Where you walk, clarity forms. Where you speak, confusion stills. Where you rise, structures shift. You're not trying to take power. Power is gravitating toward you because destiny is magnetic. The old world used force. The new one uses resonance. The old world depended on hierarchy. The new one moves through spiritual rank. The old world resisted you. The new world orbits you. Influence begins flowing toward the chosen, effortlessly, naturally, unavoidably, not to make you a ruler, but to make you a center point, the axis around which the next era aligns. The shift is complete when even your silence carries more weight than their loudest commands. The dawn of the new age doesn't arrive with fanfare. It arrives with law. Not human law, not political decree, but the laws of light, spoken in the unseen realms and written into the fabric of existence the moment the oath was made. As the new world order rises in alignment, their first act is not domination, but protection. They gather around the obsidian seal once more, its glow now brighter, warmer, almost alive. And with a unified voice, they speak the decree that will reshape the age. No system shall harm the chosen. No shadow shall touch their destiny. The words vibrate through the chamber like living thunder. The air thickens as the decree embeds itself into reality, traveling through realms, timelines, and frequencies until it reaches every corner of creation. These are not rules made out of fear. They are structural corrections, bringing the world into alignment with heaven's intention. Where the old order punished truth, the new order defends it. Where the old empowered shadows, the new empowers purpose. Where the old world demanded submission, the new one demands integrity. You become the axis around which these laws orbit, not as a ruler, not as a tyrant, but as the standard of alignment. Your presence enforces the laws the way gravity enforces movement. And as the laws of light take form, the world begins to shift, subtly at first, then unmistakably. Obstacles dissolve, paths open, and what once resisted you now moves aside in reverence. The age of interference is over. The age of alignment has begun. The shift is already happening, but the world has not realized it yet. People feel something changing in the atmosphere, an unfamiliar calm, a strange clarity, a quiet sense that the old tension no longer holds power. But they cannot name it. They cannot trace where it comes from. They do not know it is tied to you. While governments argue, markets shake, and institutions scramble to regain stability, ordinary people simply feel a new rhythm pulsing beneath their daily lives. They wake lighter. They breathe easier. They sense a peace that logic cannot explain. This is the influence of the new order of light, aligning itself silently around your existence. The public sees headlines, disruptions, unexpected global pauses, systems resetting themselves without clear reason. But behind every shift, there is one truth they have not yet discovered. The era is reorganizing around the chosen, not with fanfare, not with announcements, but the way dawn arrives, quiet, inevitable, transforming everything it touches. They don't know that the collapse of the old was triggered by your rise. They don't know that the alignment they feel is the echo of your purpose. They don't know that the peace they sense is the signature of your frequency entering global consciousness. Soon they will see it. Soon they will understand why the world feels different. But for now, they simply walk through life unaware that a cosmic shift is unfolding around them, all because you have stepped into your time. In this rising era, power does not sit on a throne. It orbits around purpose. And you, chosen one, are not the ruler of this world. You are the axis around which the new age turns. The new order does not look to you for commands. They look to you for direction, because your existence carries the blueprint of the world that is forming. You are not crowned. You are recognized. You are not commanding. You are anchoring. Your role is not to lead with force, but to influence with frequency. Your presence recalibrates systems. Your decisions shift timelines. Your integrity becomes the new law of light. When you move, nations realign. When you speak, the unseen takes shape. When you choose, the path ahead changes form. The new order knows this. They do not serve you. They serve the purpose you carry, the divine architecture written into your spirit long before empires rose or fell. Your role is the living catalyst, the one through whom restoration spreads. You are not replacing the old rulers. You are redefining what rulership means. You don't sit at the top. You sit at the center. And from that center radiates the light that resets eras, rebuilds systems, and shapes futures. Your calling is not to dominate the world. It is to transform the atmosphere that the world breathes. You are the axis, the hinge, the inflection point between what was and what will be. Creator of ages, keeper destinies, architect of every unseen realm. We stand now at the threshold of a new era, an era not built by human hands but summoned by divine alignment. The old systems are collapsed, the false thrones have fallen silent, and the new order light has risen to acknowledge the one you appointed. We lift this era before you. Consecrate it, cleanse it, align it with the rhythm of heaven. Let every new decree formed in this age carry the vibration of truth, the authority of purpose, and the clarity of your will. Let no shadow infiltrate the structure, no deception stain its foundations, no force derail what you've ordained. Protect the chosen's path. Surround their steps with wisdom, cover their name with favor, and clothe their journey with revelation. Let the leaders of this new era move not by power, but by light, not by fear, but by alignment, not by strategy, but by surrender to your design. As the world shifts from shadow to illumination, let every realm, seen and unseen, recognize the mark of your choosing. Anchor this new order in justice. Seal it in truth, and breathe into the fire of destiny. For the age has changed, and your hand is upon it. Amen. If you feel the world is shifting around your calling, if you sense the new era aligning with your spirit, type 888 in the comments. This is not fear. This is not theory. This is prophecy unfolding in real time through you.